Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am Sharika Sanders, the owner and CEO of Transform the Gap, where I help professionals, specifically accounting professionals, go from here to there, meaning here may be underworked, underutilized, overworked, excuse me, not underworked, overworked, underappreciated to there, which is career advancement, understanding how to professionally advocate for themselves, conflict resolution, all the skills necessary to continue to advance within the corporate space and learn how to thrive in their careers. And today, I have someone that I know because I know some of the best people that you should know, and it is Miss Keirsten Greggs. And Keirsten, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Sharika. Thank you for having me today. I am Keirsten Greggs. Most people know me as Trap Recruiter, and Trap is an acronym that stands for Trusted Relationship Builder, Accountable, and Proactive. That's also the name of my business, Trap Recruiter LLC. I am a principal talent acquisition consultant as well as a career coach, and I'm very excited to be here. I have had a 25 almost year career in
Wow.
talent acquisition that has spanned from corporate to now consulting, done a lot of things. And then when I started my business, I added career coaching as one of
Mhm.
the things that I like to do. So I'm just excited to be here and talk to your audience.
Thank you. And thank you for being here with us and sharing your expertise as I ask the $1 million question. What is it that you know that we should know?
So I think people know this, but I think we take it for granted sometimes.
Mm,
And that is when it comes to executing your job search and looking for the next thing, there is one activity that threads through every single other one, and that's networking. And I
mm,
think people take for granted that they need to network, even when they're not looking for a job,
yep.
because that is the thing, like I said, that goes through every other activity, whether it's putting your resume together, whether it's preparing for your interview, whether it's searching for a job, finding the best company, finding out what skills you need to add. A lot of that information will come from your network. So, especially for folks in the financial services, accounting area, there are so many folks who are already connected that you could be talking to. And I always tell people to start networking from the inside out, meaning start with your very close circle. So that doesn't mean you have to say, oh, to network, I have to go on LinkedIn and create a profile and start reaching out to recruiters. That's actually a few steps later. You want to talk to the person that's sitting next to you that you
Mhm.
work with every day, or the person who, and sorry for folks that are comfortable in their jobs or who are a little afraid, but the person that just left to go to greener pastures that you're like, wow, I
Mhm.
can't believe you left me, especially your work bestie. You know, that's happened to me
Right.
before where they leave
Right.
you and then you're like, now what do I do? That's the person that you reach out to first. You reach out to your
Uh-huh.
mentors, you reach out to your coaches, you reach out
Mhm.
to the folks who speak your name in rooms that you're not in, who advocate for you.
Yes.
A lot of us are involved in activities, regardless of whether we have children, whether we are taking classes, whether we belong to organizations. We're somewhere where other people are.
Yep.
Even if you go to the grocery store and it's the same checker who checks you out all the time, you know, like there are so many people that you can talk to about work,
Mhm.
that people
Mhm.
love to talk about work. A lot of folks, the first
Mhm.
question they ask you, what do you do? You know,
Yep.
so when
Yep.
you're at your children's games, when you're at church, or when you're at your religious organizations or whatever community or you volunteer for, be talking to people about what they do and what you want to do. As we are approaching the holiday season, I do
Mhm.
think it's also very important that folks take some time back and do an inventory, because I think like I started, we always think we're networking,
Yeah.
and we think networking means I send a message to someone, hey, I'm looking for a job, and it's always transactional, it's always an exchange.
Yeah.
The same way that we tell folks that they should always be interviewing, that you're always interviewing for your next job, especially when you're at work, what you're saying, the work you're producing, the folks that you're connecting with, the people that you're talking to. You're always networking too, because you're always able to provide insights. You're always able to gather insights, and sometimes make that call to say, hi, can we just grab a coffee? Can we just hop on a call? And it doesn't have to be, hey, let me talk to you about me and why I need you to help me get a job. Sometimes it can just be just talking, getting to know someone. You and I met via a connection from a group that we are both members of. We're both influencers with IAW. And someone said, oh, these are two people that should meet. They connected us. And we got on a call just to talk, not to say, not for the intention of, what am I going to get out of this person?
Right.
What am I going to do? How am I going to make some type of exchange? But we enjoyed the conversation, and you invited me to come here and talk. And I appreciate it, because I'm not even in the financial services sector. But again, I think sometimes we take for granted that we only have to reach up to.
Yeah.
You don't just network up the same way that you just don't mentor down. Sometimes I tell people that you mentor up too. So I might not be a founder. I might not be in the C-suite. I might not be an executive, but there is an executive, there is a C-suite member who can also gain some insights from me, someone who is in terms of hierarchy, at a level or two below. And I think that that's another way that folks need to be, again, thinking about networking up, networking down, networking across. So yeah, that's my best advice. Oh, I started talking about the holiday season, and I got sidetracked, as I do quite often in my elderly age. But yes, we're both from the 1900s, so I could say that. So as we're thinking about the holiday season and what's coming up, I know a lot of us are going to be spending more time with our families and friends. We may be taking some time off. We may be doing an inventory to say, okay, how do I want to start the year better? How do I want to start the year off with a bang? Maybe perhaps you're going to come off of your job search a bit. You're going to slow things down. You're going to say, I'm going to take a break. Well, I caution you to not completely hit the off switch. You may not be searching, meaning doing the actual going to job boards, going to job fairs, applying for positions. But one thing you can do, even when you're, passively looking for a position, is to continue to network. So again, when you're out shopping, I'm not saying that you have to run up to everybody and tell them what you do for a living and give them your elevator speech or anything like that. But when you're out shopping, when you're out having meals at a restaurant, when you're talking to your family members, especially the young folks who are coming back from their training programs, from school, or from the military, whatever the case may be, talk to folks, get to know them, find out what they're doing that's exciting, because that might spark something in you to say, oh, you know what? I didn't know that existed. I didn't know that you could do that. So just take that time, like I said, writing inventory, and give yourself a list and say, these are 3 people that I want to meet in the new year. And do reach out to them. Again, not necessarily with, first off, to say, hi, I need something from you, but just say, hi, I'd like to reconnect. I saw what you posted, or I know that you work in this field, and I am interested in it. When you have time, can we chat? That's my advice.
I appreciate and I love that, because I was definitely one of those people when I was in the corporate space who did not want to network. I did not see the benefit of it. And there are a lot of opportunities to do it. You can do it online. You can do it face to face, because there are a lot of contract and temp, organizations that may have networking events that allow, employees to go to. And so you're meeting people on all different levels. And it is your chance to market yourself without marketing yourself. You just can, somewhat relax and have just a general conversation. But it's in those general conversations that when a role comes up or whatever opportunity down the line, that person may say, you know what, I remember meeting this person. But of course, that's also in staying consistent with it, and not, you
Absolutely.
don't have to send them something every month, but every now and again, check in, just say hello. But yeah, that was something I really started doing more in the entrepreneurial space.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that it was the little bit I did in corporate, I didn't realize that's what it was. And that was whenever I started a company, exactly what you said. Whenever I started a company, whenever I met someone new in a, different department, if someone left, oh, let's make sure we're connected on LinkedIn. And I didn't do any other social media platforms,
Right.
2, 3 years ago. It was solely just LinkedIn, but it was my way to keep up with people. Hey, we have this opportunity, because you can also offer them, hey, we have this role at our company. I see that it's similar to what you do, just, throwing it out there. It just adds to that trust factor. So I
Absolutely.
really like everything that you said, and just also emphasizing the importance of networking. And I agree, you are always interviewing, and but the importance of networking and making those connections. In my own personal experience, there was someone that I worked with on the peer level, and
Mm-hmm.
she left and went to another company, and she called me. And we weren't like friends at the time. We had a baseline understanding, worked together, but she said she could see my work ethic and how she liked the way that I worked and how I handled myself. And, when different things came up. And when she left and went to another space, she was like, hey, we have a position available, and I really think you would be a great fit for it. I didn't even know she knew my name that well. Like, she was gone. So I thought, okay,
Well,
we broke up, but but she remembered that it was a lady that Sharika at the old company, and how Sharika worked, and having those, just being cordial and having those different conversations. And I ended up staying at the company. I ended up leaving and going to that company that she recommended me for, and I was there, I think, probably 6 years.
that's
uh,
awesome.
so it worked out definitely in my favor. So I appreciate that. So please notice, take heed as you all go think about, it's coming up to the end of the year. What are some things I want to change? What are some things I want to start to incorporate? The value of networking, making your presence known. It's very important for your career advancement, wherever your career will take you, corporate, entrepreneurship, whatever the case may be. So I appreciate your expert opinion. And not only was it great advice, you have many years of experience to support that great advice. And I love the name of Trap Recruiter. And
Thank you.
I thank you again, and just appreciate you for sharing your space with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So remember, contact Keirsten if you have any questions, if you need further clarification, if you're at a roadblock, any of those things, reach out. I'll make sure she's tagged within the video. Ask the questions, do the things, step up for yourself. Nobody else will. So you have to advocate for yourself. You have to make your moves. And if there's something that you don't see that you want, then create it. So that's my tidbit for today. That just came to me but anyway, but create your own space. Be that person. That's how I started my company. I became the person that I did not have when I was in the corporate space. So take this time to really reflect, build those connections, make those relationships, build those relationships, make those connections. And until next time, thank you and
Thank
good
you.
night.